or month or year or since birth. Any of those things will apply. I think it'll be an easy word to use. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Sandy. And our timer today is Jennifer Costello. Jennifer, can you please tell us your functionary role?
My functionary today is the timer. I will be timing the speeches. And Michael, green at 5, yellow at 6, and red at 7. And then when we do table topics, once again, green at 1, yellow at 2, 1.5, and red at 2. And then for speech evaluators, 2, 2.5, and 3. And that is my job as the timer. And Sandy, Mom says hi back to you.
Thank you, timer. Our general evaluator is Sheila Finn. Sheila, would you tell us what you're going to do today?
Good. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. I will be taking notes of just our general meeting as a whole and noting things that we've done well, things that we might be able to improve on, and just the general, and run the evaluation part, the evaluation portion of the meeting. And that's my role. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Can't talk today.
Thank you. We've had a few people show up since the meeting started, so I'd like to welcome you guys, Miguel and Janet, and there's probably some others that I missed, but Janet, you had sent me an email earlier saying that you could be a speaker. Can you be a speaker? Can you put your mic on?
Yeah, I guess I can. I don't have my...
if you can't, just say no. That's all right. You can say no.
Okay, I'm going to say no because I'm already evaluating Michael.
Okay, that's fair enough. So we'll just, we're going to punt on our first. So Michael, you're going to get to be our first speaker, but we'll skip Kim Connor unless somebody has a speech prepared. Does somebody have a speech prepared? No, I'm going to take that as a no. So we're going to have one speaker today. And that speaker will be Michael Aragon, and Janet Sellers will be his speech evaluator. So Janet, can you tell us the points about Michael's speech?
I would be happy to. I'll be, let me get my paperwork here.
So you just disappeared into the tall grass.
Okay, as ridiculous as it may sound, I was trying to sit on my exercise ball to be healthy, and it rolled away. I was like, oh my God. So I thought you would all enjoy that ridiculousness for the day. I had to go run and get it. Okay, so Michael this is the proposal project, presenting a proposal. And the purpose of this project is for the member to practice developing and presenting a proposal. So I will be keeping in mind that he's completing this project and has spent time developing the proposal for some area of his life. He will deliver a well-organized speech about his proposal. It may affect any area of his personal or professional life or Toastmasters. Present an entire proposal or just aspects of it, like I did last week. And the speech may be humorous, informational, or any style that he chooses. And there we have it. Take it away, Michael.
As Toastmaster, it's my job to get introductions, and I failed at that portion of my job today. But I'm going to introduce Michael anyway. Michael's been working at Ent for, I'm guessing, 2.5 to 3 years. Is that a fair assessment?
I think.
All right, doing pretty good. And Michael is a graduate of UCCS. All right, I'm strike two. I'm doing pretty good. And Michael is a fantastic speaker. And today, Michael is going to speak on power. And the name of his speech is Power. Please help me welcome Michael Aragon.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mike. Could this meeting be an email? We've all been to those meetings. We've all been to a meeting where it's not clearly defined, there's no purpose, no action or outcome, it's all a waste of time, there's no agenda, and no one's taking responsibility. So what do? Well, today I'm going to tell you to take power, put power into your meetings. P-O-W-E-R. Recently, I was able to go to a seminar on just this subject, and I thought today I would propose that you would infuse your meetings with power. So today, in talking about power, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what a power meeting looks like, and we're going to contrast that with what a power meeting doesn't look like. I'm going to use our Toastmasters meeting as a good example of what you can look to as a power meeting, because from my memory and my experience, I think that Toastmasters has great power-infused meetings. So, power. P is for purpose. The idea of your meeting. You don't want to have a meeting that doesn't have any purpose behind it. A good example would be a meeting you go to and people show up and you don't know why you're there. There's no clearly defined purpose. A good example of a meeting with purpose in it is a Toastmasters meeting where you have the purpose of showing up to improve your leadership and communication skills. O in power is for outcome. It's the application of the purpose. So if you're showing up to this meeting and there's no clearly defined purpose, it's not gonna have an outcome because there's disorganization, there's confusion, and maybe the only outcome you have from the meeting is that you have to have another meeting and another meeting and another meeting because you didn't succeed in achieving anything in your meeting. There's no application. But Toastmasters is a meeting that has an outcome. And you show up to Toastmasters and there's evaluations, there's networking, you get to know people, and you walk away with a little tidbit of something, at least a nugget of wisdom that you can take in to your real world life. W is for what's in it for you, or what's in it for your team, what's in it for the meeting. It's very similar to the outcome. You want to come away with the outcome. If you have a meeting that doesn't have power, you're going to have what's in it for you is lost time, a waste of time. And if you have a meeting with power, if you're organized and you have an outcome and a purpose, what's in it for you is that you're going to accomplish your goals. You're going to come to the meeting and you're going to be set to go. E is for engagement and agenda. It's all about how to execute your goals throughout the meeting. So a bad example of a meeting would be there's no agenda and you have random discussion. Someone starts talking about dogs and then Sandy starts talking about her cats. I don't know, maybe she doesn't have cats. And then someone else is talking about a movie they saw about cats, maybe the Cats the musical, and then you're all over the place. That would not be a power meeting. That would be a meeting without engagement or agenda. So we should turn to the Toastmasters meeting. The Toastmasters engages different people by giving them different roles, and like functionaries, you can be an officer, which engages you outside of the meeting, or you can be a speaker like me, or you can be an evaluator. There's many different ways to engage everyone in the meeting. And another important part of the E, engagement and agenda, is the agenda. You want to have an agenda that includes all of these engaging different facets. And we know that in Toastmasters, we follow a pretty strict schedule. The last letter in power is R, for roles and responsibilities. If you show up to a meeting and there's many strong minds, and someone with a strong mind over here is going to say, I want to talk about this, and you have someone over here and there's a strong mind, and they will say that, oh, but I want to talk about this. There's no responsibility allocated to the different roles and responsibilities. Likewise, on the flip side, if you show up to a meeting and there's no strong minds, no leadership, you're going to show up to the meeting and everyone's just going to lay back and wonder what they're going to do. So it's important to have that good place of segmenting roles and responsibilities. So what's a good example of this? Toastmasters. You all know that we segment our roles and responsibilities ahead of time, so we have a plan. So if you infuse your meetings with power, you're going to have a purpose. You're going to walk away with an outcome, application. W is for what's in it for you or for the team. You're going to be able to walk away with a practical outcome. E is for engagement and agenda, so everyone participates and it's not a waste of their time. And R is for roles and responsibilities. So could this meeting be an email? Probably not Toastmasters, but infuse your meeting with power and you'll be set to reach your goals. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Michael. Timer, could you please give us 1 minute on the clock so we can evaluate Michael's speech?
One minute, Mike.
Thank you, Jennifer. I'm not sure how you're set, Miguel, for table topics. Do you have a lot of them?
I do, yes.
Okay, because we have lots of time since we missed a speaker. So we'll let the timer decide when time is up. But at your leisure, today's table topics master is Miguel Mendez. Please take it away, Miguel.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Mr. Toastmaster. So, and just since this is my first time being a table topics master, can I just roll with it, run with it until we get called by the timer? Is that okay?
Yes.
Fantastic. So I just need to review to see who's here, who's hanging out with us for table topics. Just to give you guys a little bit intro, this is table topics where I have a number of different questions, and really your challenge is to not just commit, but recommit yourself to being able to speak on your feet, be able to make things off the top of your head, pull them out from your back pocket, wherever you can manage, because that's ultimately what I feel like my greatest strength is. So we get a chance to try this out and have a little bit of fun today. And of course, I will request see if anybody wants to volunteer for the first question, and then after that, I'm just going to start picking on people based on how nervous you look. So, real quick, do we have any volunteers to begin? Shantae, thank you so much. Okay, so your question: what food does everyone seem to love, but that you hate?
Oh, that is really tough because I love food. I haven't met many foods I haven't liked, actually. Some I have needed to reconnect with that I had maybe not had in my repertoire or palate for quite some time. But once that reconnection happened, we just, like peanut butter and jelly, we really get along. I love weird foods. And you know, it's funny, I'm a pescatarian now. I don't eat chicken or beef. I eat fish and snails. I love escargot. It's my favorite. Just eat it in eggs, eat it by itself, eat it with garlic, just eat it up. And I wish I didn't have to not eat meat. I wish that cows didn't have best friends and go through anxiety and cry and miss their babies. And I wish that beef didn't contribute to deforestation, because I love me some meat. I love sausage. I love ribs. I was a vegetarian years ago, and I actually, in a unbridled display of passion for my ex-husband, crawled across a picnic table at a rib cook-off and took the piece of meat he was about to put in his mouth out of it with my teeth like a dog. I was ours, grabbed it. So I love all food. I wish I could be more help. As far as animals, though, I don't like rabbits. Everybody seems to like those guys. I would eat a rabbit, though, if I wasn't a pescatarian. So that's all I have for you. Thank you so much. Thanks for allowing me to reconnect with the group today and feel that love. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much, Dante. And thank you for that visual that is going to stick with me from now on anytime I see a picnic table or a rib. So, on to our next one. Do we have any more volunteers, or am I picking on people? I'm okay with either. Nathan, you're being voluntold. How does that sound?
Did it for 8 years in the Army, so go ahead.
Sounds good. Give us an example, Nathan, of the worst advice that you've ever been given.
Thank you for bringing that up, Miguel. The worst advice I think I've ever been given, and let's stay on the theme of the military. In the military, in order to get rank, you had to go to a board where basically a young soldier is standing in front of a whole bunch of old soldiers, and they ask questions, and they ask a whole bunch of questions that sometimes you know the answer, sometimes you don't. The advice that I was given, that was the worst advice I've ever been given, is when you do not know the answer, you are supposed to say whatever you think it is in the most confident way. You are supposed to basically lie purposefully to higher ranking people and make it sound convincing enough that they believe you. This is the worst advice I think I've ever been given, because where else are you going to use that? I've been in many of these meetings that didn't have power. I've been in many meetings that do have power. Thanks to Michael, now I know how to put a name to it. And I've never been in a place where if I just lie really good and they believe me, that this is a good thing that's going to come. There's going to be a good outcome to this. The only reason I bring this up is because this literally happened, and I had to say to one of the VPs, I do not know. I will get that answer and get back to you. And it just dawned on me, wow, I'm so glad I'm out of the military. Thank you for letting me share that, Miguel.
Oh, I wasn't muted. I'm so sorry.
Well, we appreciate that too. Can you guys hear me now? Hopefully we're good. I apologize, guys. My phone has not been very cooperative today, but we appreciate that, Nathan. I've been privy to some organizations in the past as well where I've had to use what I call strategic misdirection, because the lines of communication were not well established to make things happen and to do what was best for people. It was more meant for protecting egos, unfortunately. However, it has helped me become more tactful, because I have been accused of being too direct in the past. But I'm going to volunteer our next person, if that is all right. Shanita, can I pick on you for this next one? And my apologies if I mispronounced that.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now, yes.
Great.
Shanita, can you tell me about a book or a movie that you think is way underrated and why?
Well, underrated. The movie that comes to mind right away is a newer movie about the life of a singer. And I had underrated her life. That's I had underrated her life. The singer's name is uh, it's a newer movie. It's a newer movie. Her song was about. It was called "Strange Fruit." Can anybody help me? What's the name of this lady? It's a new movie.
Billie Holiday. You're talking about
Billie Holiday.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. I had really underrated her life until I saw this movie. This movie helped me to see that this woman was an activist. You know, she was in the era of heroin usage. So she was involved with heroin usage because in the singing industry and in the people that she was around, that was the drug of choice at that time. But the government was actually pursuing her relentlessly because they did not want her to sing this song that was about lynching. And like I said, I had really underrated her life. I just thought she was a drug addict loser. But no, she was a great, great woman. Billie Holiday. Watch that movie.
Well, thank you so much for that, Shanita. That is incredible. It's one of the things I do love about different art forms, that it does give you a chance to introduce and see different sides to people, especially the power in artists when they want to express something and it's not something that people want to accept, or that's something that seems taboo in society. But we're going to move on to our next one. So thank you again for that, Shanita. Sheila, do you mind if I pick on you? I don't know if you have a choice, but courtesy question.
All right, what's your question?
All
Let's see what I
right.
can do.
All right. Can you tell us about the funniest, the craziest prank that either you've pulled on somebody or a prank that somebody has pulled on you?
I can't even think of one. I'm not a very gregarious or funny person, and I'm not very good at doing that kind of thing. So that's kind of out of my wheelhouse. My son probably is much better, and I can't think of anything that they had did to me, because like usually my son and my husband kind of gang up on me because that's what they do. They like to pick on me. They do pick on me, but I can't think of a prank that's like hysterical. And if I did find one, I probably wouldn't want to share it. It might really embarrass me, because they do like to do that to me. Oh man, I'm not doing very well. I not good at these. Not at the moment, darn it. I know they like I said, they pick on me all the time, and they like to tease me and embarrass me. Like if we go out to eat, they always do something silly. So sorry, I'm not very good at this. That's all I got.
We appreciate it all the same. That is one of the motivators, one of the main purposes behind Table Topic, just be able to think on your feet, see what you can come up with. And if I can volunteer, Aaron, if you don't mind if I call on you, I know you were munching on something a few minutes ago.
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
All right, we appreciate it. So here's an interesting one for you. I don't know if you're dog person, cat person, so feel free to mix it up. If you were a breed of dog, what breed of dog would you be and why?
If I was a breed of dog, I would definitely be a pit bull. The reason why is because I like to work out a lot, and pit bulls are they're naturally formed in muscle, and I love that about them. I love how strong they are. I like to wrestle with them. I like to fight with them because they're the only dog that can really keep up with me right now. So that would definitely be my answer. I would definitely go with pit bulls. If there was another animal that I would be as well, it would probably be a hairless cat. I just think they're fun. I don't like hair. I was in the military. Like, get a haircut. we all need to see you have a haircut. So that's it.
I like the transition to the hairless cat. Those things, they're sweet, they're cute in person, but just seeing them on the internet, they kind of do frighten me. I feel like if I had a sleep paralysis demon, it might be a hairless cat. But Janet, do you mind if I pick on you for this next one?
We're good.
Sounds good. So Janet, can you tell us about one of the silliest or most inconvenient problems you're facing in your day-to-day life today? Just something that's annoying but not important enough to fix at the moment.
All righty. I will tell you this. Every day I get up and I say to myself, I'm going to tidy something. And emails get in the way, and taking care of things get in the way. This morning alone, I spent an hour and a half trying to correct the prescription on the glasses that I ordered, which is ridiculous. I missed one of the meetings I was supposed to attend that I was really looking forward to. And I was ready to throw my computer across the room because I had nothing else to throw. I was so mad. And if I got off, the chat person probably would have thrown my efforts away, and then I would have to start all over again. And I'd already paid for the glasses. And I just wanted to get it over with. And the next thing that happened was the dog picked up the basket of toys and the balls went all over the room. And I was trying to get ready for this. And I was trying really hard to get ready for Michael and print up this wonderful page here. And the dogs just kept doing things. Then they took a dump in the living room. And I was like, this is not my day. This is so not my freaking day. I put the dogs in the kennel. And I decided that the old dog that pees everywhere is going to wear a diaper for the rest of the week because I'm so not picking up after him. And that is what I do not tell people, but what made me furious. And then on top of that, I went to sit down to this meeting and the ball rolled away. And I went to sit down, there was nothing there. So take that, world. Huh. Thank you.
No worries. It's the little things that seem to really get under our skin, and that's how I feel. I have what I call macro patience. Some things take time, like learning a new skill or getting better at something. I don't have micro patience. When I push a button, it better work. And when it doesn't, oh man, it's not good for my blood pressure. Can I get a quick read on time? How are we doing on time?
Miguel, we can do one more.
We can do one more? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let me find a silly one then. Maybe a silly one. Sandy, I think I'm going to pick on you for this next one.
Okay.
Okay. Can you tell me a car that you have or that you've had in the past that you've named and where you came up with the name?
Thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master. The literal answer to your question is no. I cannot tell you about a car I currently have or have ever had that I have ever named. I've never named a car. I've never really connected with a car in that really personal and intimate fashion. I guess we can rate cars that I really liked and was sad to get rid of, and cars that I could not get rid of fast enough. I feel terrible saying this, but every car I've ever driven that at one point in time has belonged to my dad has fallen into the not worthy of a name category. I started with a Renault Alliance, and if you've never driven a Renault Alliance, The poor little things can't handle the freeway. They don't go very fast. They're very lightweight. And if a good gust of wind comes along, as you're getting blown off the freeway, you can think to yourself, well, it was a very affordable car and quite practical. So I can die smiling knowing that we saved someone a bunch of money. Maybe that's my goal, not for 2021. That's too aggressive. Perhaps a goal for 2022 is to find a car to connect with all of my heart and soul, and I will listen to it until it tells me its name. And you can come back to me and ask me in a future Table Topics, and I will share that with you. Thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master.
Thank you so much, Sandy. I'm one of the weird folks that always finds character to my cars, so I always name mine. But thank you guys so much. That is Table Topics. I will hand this back to our Toastmasters so we can head this back on and get going. And thank you, everybody, for being good sports about that.
Nice job, Miguel. You did a great job. Well, it's always a good time to recommit to this group. And so far, this meeting has been spectacular about how to put power into your speeches and how to think on your feet. And now we're going to have our general evaluator, Sheila Finn, introduce our functionaries. Sheila.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Can we have, I guess it's Janet that will be evaluating Michael's speech for us.
Sure. I'm here. Michael, thank you. That was a wonderful speech. You asked me to see if you were prepared, if it was organized, and how it played out. And you were all of those things. It was awesome. I have this little evaluation sheet here, and it says, general comments, you excelled at organized and clear. You rocked it. I thought, powered? What does he mean? Does he want to go to the gym and get strong? What's he talking about? And then I thought maybe God's power and, some kind of a hurricane that got fixed. I don't know. But you engaged us, you had enthusiasm, and you put things together that we could all use, which I always love. You had this speech prepared and ready for your audience, and I appreciate it. It was something that I struggle with when I run meetings, and when other people run meetings and they don't do as well as Toastmasters, I'm thinking, come on, because I want them to be as organized as we are. So I appreciate you bringing Toastmasters into this particular meeting and this particular speech, because I think this group we have to be boom, boom, boom prepared, and it's terrific. Clarity, we were easily understood you. Vocal variety, you used speed and volume and tone, good tools. Excellent eye contact, great gestures. Even in the tiny screen, you were able to put all kinds of gestures and animate, I guess is the word, your speech to have it feel active. You engaged our interest with interesting and well-constructed, not only just sentences, but ideas and aspects of power and holding a meeting. You proposed your development and your speech very well. Good proposal. It says you may want to work on. I don't know what you would work on because it was so good. The only thing I can think of was if you would change the view so that we just see your whiteboard behind you instead of the corner. That's the only thing I can think of. It would be easier to focus on you because I kept trying to see what was on that little calendar thing over there. I was like, what's he got back there? And that's just what people do. They look and see, what's this person got behind them and how do they live? To challenge yourself, I have no idea, but here's a thought that I would love for you to do to challenge yourself. Why don't you make this speech into a visual training? Every company and every person who works someplace needs it. Who wants to be bored in a meeting, and who wants to have a meeting when you could just have an email? So please make this again and give it to the world. Thank you.
Hey, Sheila, can I interrupt for a minute? I forgot to mention that we have to vote for the table topics. So I want to run down those the table topics real quick so that you can vote, and you can send a private message to Miguel so that he can tally up the votes. So the first one was Shantae, and hers was food everyone loves that she hates. The second one was Nathan, the worst advice ever given. The third one was Chinita, and that was a book or a movie that was underrated. The next one was Sheila, and it was a prank that was either pulled on her or that she pulled on somebody else. The next one was Aaron. What breed of dog would he be? The next one was Janet, and it was the silliest problem that she has during a day. And the last one was Sandy, and it was her favorite car, or the car that she named. So if you can just, in the private message section, just put a message to Miguel, which one you thought was the best. And then Miguel can add up those votes and we'll find out who won at the end. Thanks, Sheila. Back to you.
So the next functionary we have is our timer. Jennifer Costello, could you tell us how we're doing on our timing?
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. So I want to say we committed to our time and we kept recommitting to staying on time. Michael, your speech was 5 minutes and 58 seconds. For table topics, Shantae was 1 minute and 45 seconds. Nathan was 2 minutes. Chinita was 1 minute and 50 seconds. Sheila was 1 minute and 9 seconds. Aaron was 52 seconds. Janet was 1 minute and 48 seconds. And Sandy was 1 minute and 28 seconds. And Janet's evaluation of Michael was 2 minutes and 55 seconds. So you all recommitted well to your time. Thank you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Jennifer. Our next functionary is Sandra. Can you give us a report on your grammarian and our word of the day, use some of the word of the day?
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. As grammarian, I need to recommit to listening more thoughtfully, not just to what people are saying, but how they are saying it, because I have very little to share in my grammarian report. We'll just kind of go with that's because you all speak so gosh darned well. I did not find room for improvement today. With the word of the day, I heard Miguel use recommit twice. I heard Mike use it once. I heard Jennifer just use it twice. And Shantae, you changed the word of the day, but it was close enough for me. So reconnect with 3 usages sounded just delightful because it was more or less the same theme. Thank you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Sandy. Our next functionary is our awe counter. Nathan, can you give us your report, please?
Absolutely. Thank you, Ms. General Evaluator. I thought we did very well. I know filler words are conversational words, and that's why it's really easy when you're having a conversation to use them. But when you're doing a speech, it's more about almost what you're able to write down. The reason I bring that up is because the biggest filler word was and. So instead of us putting a period on it, we put a comma and then just created totally lost my train of thought, what it's called, a run-on sentence. Thank you. And is not a problem. Using it in that way was. There was a couple ahs, ums. I even counted, well, that's like my 5th. So I win. A lot of times when we're frustrated, especially with the table topics of the day, we haven't really thought this through. We don't have a coherent thought. We're more word vomit, to be fair. Can be very well done word vomit, but still word vomit nonetheless. So a lot of that is that run-on sentence, not putting the period and everything just being a comma. That's the only thing I have to give as the report. I thought we did very well. You know, a lot of people, uhs, and everything are actually doing a lot better than when we all started this last year. And again, there's me. I win.
Thank you, Nathan. And as a general evaluator, I'll give us just I think we did a great job. We started on time. And Miguel, you did a great job on being Table Topics Master for your first time. You did a great job. And everything's ran on time. I think this meeting went really very well. Thank you. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Nice job, everyone. Things are going along smoothly. Miguel, I appreciate all the table topics you had, because when we miss a speech, we have lots of time to fill, and you filled it. So thank you. So speaking of table topics, Miguel, do you have a winner for us? Uh-oh.
I do, yes. I don't know if my video is still frozen.
It's on.
Okay. It was frozen there for a bit. I just didn't want to have an ungraceful exit where I'm just standing there like a cutout of myself. But if I could have a drum roll, please. Everybody, we have a tie between Nathan and Shantae for table topics of the day. So at a later date, we'll have to schedule a table topics off so we can settle this once and for all.
Fight to death.
Table topics to the death. That's the only way.
Awesome, I'm in. And I would like to take any of the other subjects that you threw out. And I want to tell you, Sheila, prank people. Prank them well. You can use white toothpaste in Oreos, and it's the best thing you can do to another human being.
And
especially children.
Okay, I need to take control of the meeting. I'm using my power. Nice job, everyone. Miguel, in the future, you get to pick the winner. We'll take the tie today, but at the end of the day, there has to be a winner. So you get to pick the winner when there's a tie. I have a few things. I'm almost set up with PayPal. I had to get the tax ID number. I actually had the tax ID number, but they actually wanted the piece of paper that has the tax ID number on it for PayPal. So I had to submit that to them. So I did that this morning, and they said it would be 2 to 3 days before they would set up the account, and hopefully everything will go smoothly. When that happens, I will have a PayPal account set up for our group at Inspirational Speakers so that you can pay your dues. Speaking of dues, they're due. It is March the 10th. The dues, I need to have the dues into Toastmasters International by April 1st. I don't want to be up at 12 or 11:58 on March 31st trying to enter those in. I want them in well before March 31st. So it's $45 for 6 months. It's $90 for the year. If you're an ENT employee, you don't need to worry about that. It's taken care of. But if you're not like me, then you've got to pony up. So we're trying to make it easier. If you're an ENT member, you can transfer funds from your account to ENT, to Inspirational Speakers. Just call ENT and they should be able to do it. If you're not a member of ENT, you can write a check and bring it to my office, or you can write a check and deposit it in the Inspirational Speakers bank account at ENT, and there's many locations. You can, I'll send out a blast email once the PayPal account is set up, but I think it'll be done Monday or Tuesday. And when that happens, then you can use a credit card and you can go into PayPal and drop your money in there. And if you have a PayPal account, you can just transfer money from your PayPal account to ours, which would be awesome. So that's coming. I have a few more things to say, and then I will turn it over. We had a great meeting where we recommitted to being in this group. We had power. We had lots of power. It was infused with power. Then we lost our ball. So what you got to do is you got to get that rib even if you don't have utensils. And if you don't know, tell them you don't know and you'll get the answer. Watch that movie. But not at the moment, darn it. I gotta say, I don't like hair. And I have nothing left to throw. And those poor little things, they just can't handle the freeway. Madam President, please take over the meeting.
We do have enough time for our VP of Education to get some roles filled for next week. I have a thing that I was going to bring up at the end of this meeting, but Michael has convinced me that it could indeed be an email. So I will send out an email. The topic will be returning to hybrid meetings. Just a big long one. Let me get it out of the way, and then I'll throw a big and in there and follow it up with a so. So we are in a position where maybe not every week, because trying to get room availability is not so easy because we all need to be 6 feet apart, but we should start structuring a plan so we can move to hybrid meetings where some of us can show up in person and some of us can join Zoom the way we are right now. And I will send out an email and we'll come together as the tribe that we are and support each other, and we will make it happen. Madam VP of Ed, would you like to assign us all or voluntold us all some roles for next week?
Yes, I would. But before I do that, I like to celebrate it a little bit. So first, I am going to celebrate my mentee coming back. Mike, give Mike a round of applause. He is a great member, so I am glad to have him back in the sack with us. The other thing, Art is not here, but when he returns, we need to celebrate Art completing level 1. So give him a round of applause in case he is watching the replay. Art, we are proud of you for joining and jumping in and just doing the DAMN thing. All right. I need to tell you, if you were a member that renewed last year by December 31st, 2020, then you qualified for a free path. You only have 21 days to claim that path. So be sure that you go on to Toastmasters.org and claim your new path. It will zero out at the end. So just click it and go through. It will not charge you the $20, but make sure you claim your free path. Take advantage of that. So now let's.
Mimi?
Yes.
Can we do that even if we've not completed a path?
Yes, ma'am. You can go ahead and claim the path and start it. You don't have to work on it, but go ahead and start it. If you either one, you can look at the list of paths that are available and just select the one that best suits your fancy, or you can take the assessment again and see what they recommend, because they'll recommend, I think, 3 paths for you to choose from and go from there. But go ahead and take advantage of getting the free path while you can. And if you have any questions on how to make that happen, I am here to help. So let's assign some roles for next week. If there is a role that is just calling your name and you're just like, I just must do this next week, go ahead and unmute yourself and let me know what that is.
Mimi, I would like to take the role of Toastmaster next week.
Woo, I love it. All right. Thank you so much.
And can I request for the following week a speech, please?
Mm-hmm. I'll put that in as well.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Is there anybody else that feels like there's something just calling them?
I'd like to do a speech next week, and I'd like to spend some time with someone spending some time with me on the website to make sure that I'm formatting it correctly to, check off my boxes.
Okay.
Maybe Nate.
If you just want to reply back to that thread that we'd already started,
yeah,
I'll absolutely
cool.
help you.
I will. I appreciate it. I just got back from Florida, so.
Yeah, we all know, Shantae, we know.
It's not manatees, just saying.
All right. So next week is March 17th. Oh, it's St. Patrick's Day. So wear your green. Let's go ahead and wear our green. No matter what you're doing. I know you got some green, find it. I don't care if you have to find a piece of a green dollar and pin it to you, that will count. But make sure that you wear your green.
I'll be the general evaluator.
All right. So I already have, Shantae, I see you already put yourself in as speaker. Thank you so very much. We just put your information in, but if you need help with that, I guess Nate got you. So I'm glad for that. Thank you, Nate. I am seeing that we actually have a speech. Help me out, somebody. What's the word I'm looking for?
Speechathon.
Thank you. Speakathon. We have a speakathon next week. So that means we have multiple spots.
I want.
Janet, is that you?
Yes, that's me. I put it in the Easy Speak for next week, but I can't put myself in as a speaker, but I'd like to.
Okay. I got you. Is it about easy resilience? Is that, or watch and be something?
Yeah, because I have to use visuals, either background things or sharing the screen and a video and things like that. So I just named it that.
Okay, that works. That works. So I went ahead and put that in as your speech. So you'll be the second speaker. Shantae, you'll be first speaker. Is there anybody else that's feeling the itch to speak? To get a gift card? By the way, Janet, you should have a gift card in your email box. I didn't
get one yet.
Check your email when we get off of here, and it should be
okay.
in there. I did a double
All
check
right.
to make sure I sent it to the proper address, but I'll get with you in a minute. I think what I did was I mailed it to the house.
My house?
Yes, I think I need to check and see what I did. I'm sorry, guys. I have been dealing with family stuff and 2 funerals, so I am just now
Bless your heart.
In the swing of things.
My condolences, Mimi.
Thank you so much. All right, so Mike, you said you'll be general evaluator. We actually don't need a general evaluator, but we need some evaluators. So would you be a speaker evaluator? Is that okay?
Who are you asking?
Mike Everson. Is he still with us?
I had to get back on
Okay.
my screen to find the unmute thing.
Yes.
Yes, I will be a speaker evaluator.
Okay. I need some more speaker evaluators. Who else is available? Who's coming next week?
I'm not going to be here next week.
Okay.
So, and I'm going to go ahead and drop off.
Okay.
Thanks.
Have a good one. Thank you.
Maybe I can evaluate the butts out of one of these speeches.
Okay. Thank you so much. I will.
It's 14 hours.
Go ahead and just plug me into one.
I will.
I
All
can
I'm
right.
gonna head out. I've got a meeting.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
All right.
guys.
Who else is on here?
I'm heading off too. I have to get back to work.
Okay. Thank you.
I should
Mike.
probably do the same. Bye, guys.
All right. Michael, are you going to be here next week?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What would you like to do? Can you do an evaluation?
Why not?
Thank you. All right. All right, Michael, eval 2. All right. Who else will be here next week? Shanita, will you be here next week? Yes. Aaron, will you be here next week?
Yes, I will.
So Aaron, how do you feel about counting ahs and ums?
Counting odds and ums.
Yes.
Is it just one speech?
So what you do is whoever talks, you just listen. If somebody says so, you just make a little tick mark. That's what I do. I usually write and so, and I put a tick mark. Or you can write the people's names down and keep it for each person. That's up to you how you want to give the report. But basically, you just listening to let us know if we're using filler words or not. Do you feel comfortable with that? I think you can handle it.
Thank you. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Have a speech.
You gonna give a speech, Cheetah? Yay! All right.
Our friend.
Shanita Lynn, our friend. Okay. So I think I got everybody. So thank you all. Sandy, I'm gonna plug you in wherever is missing.
That's what I do.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. It's more than likely it will be timer, but we'll see.
Okay.
All right. I am done. Thank you.
Everybody have a great week.